What's up guys, Macadii here. Now today I'm bringing you guys an announcement video where I'm going to be telling you the draft that I chose for the GBA Season 2 D-League. I'm really excited to reveal this to you guys, and I hope you guys are excited about this as well, because this is a really good draft, I must admit. I feel I've outdone myself considerably with this one. Personally, this is my opinion on it. I can't really see too many faults with it, and had to make a few compromises and stuff like that, but overall, I'm really pleased. So, giving a sort of brief overview of the draft, why I really like it. I really like it because it fits my playstyle of using very bulky mons to wear down the opponent, and then normally I have 1 or 2 win conditions that can come in and mop up after that. Once I know the sets, once I've got rid of the threats as well. So, that's the plan. So, first of all, I had to think about what would I want that would be an absolutely excellent win condition. So, the pair that I actually wanted for this would be really good, because one of them was an excellent wall and one of them would be a really good sweeper, and between them they would benefit each other so well. So what the first pick that I managed to get was Hippowdon. So I decided to go for Hippowdon, first of all because it paired really well with this mystery sweeper, which to be honest all of you can probably guess by now. I'd also drafted 7th as well. There's 8 teams in this, so I had a really good chance of getting these pair. I would have really liked to have drafted last to guarantee it, but there's not much I could do. And even if I got pipped and this second one got taken, I still had a really excellent physical wall. So we got Moto, the Hippowdon, and I am so proud to have this because it's an absolutely amazing physical wall. It's stealth rocket options, whirlwind options. So many different things I can run, especially defensive assault vest, offensive. So yeah, the options of this are endless, and sand is also incredibly useful for my draft because it means I can start wearing down the opponent down to a point where my sweeper can come in and later on clean up from there. So that was definitely a really good pick. I know it's not a normal first turn pick, but I was still pleased that I managed to get this. Next up, as you guys can imagine, is CashFlash the Excadrill. I did manage to get the Excadrill, which means I now have an amazing Sand Rush sweeper, which hits a speed that's at the level of, I think it's base 190 speed under the sand, if I remember rightly. But I have run the calcs. You have to scarf a base 119 timid Pokemon to outspeed this in the sand, which is pretty much impossible. And even if people do, the amount of preparation you have to do for that it's going to really weaken the team. And even if I don't bring Excadrill, or I work out that that's a scarf where I can take it out, it's gonna put in so much work. It's literally my late game cleaner. It's also a great rapid spinner as well. Also, I can run it scarfed if I wanted to outside of the sand to surprise some people and things like that. So there's lots and lots of different options. I'm not going to reveal too many secrets. I'm just going to give a sort of brief overview. So next up, I had to think what I wanted. I wanted to start building a bit of sort of defensive core from here. And one Pokemon that really stood out to me that I've been using a lot in the IEP is Umbreon. And I managed to get, for my third pick, Anubis the Umbreon, which I'm really pleased about because it's a great mixed wall. It synergizes fairly well with Hippowdon because it's got really good special defense. So it means that any sort of powerful ice type moves that are normally special and grass type moves, Umbreon can come in and take those because it's got really great special defense. And also I could provide wish support to Hippowdon if needs be, and also heal belt any toxics and things like that. So as a sort of overall cleric, it was really good. Now I know it was probably a bit early to go for Umbreon there, but I knew that some people probably would be wanting to go for it, and considering it's like the glue that holds my cores together and sort of provides so much great support, it was definitely worth picking it for that third pick. Next up, I decided I want to go for a Mega. Now, the Mega that I wanted something that was going to be fast, provide momentum, and also be something that sort of a typing that I hadn't got, and I decided to go for Pharaoh the Mega Manectric. Now, one of the best decisions, I think, for best arguments for going for this is definitely because the main stops to Mega Manectric are Hippowdon and Excadrill. And who has those? So, that's really useful to have. It means I can Volt Switch off a lot of teams, and even if they do bring in something, to say if they got Landorus and they come in on Volt Switch, I can then KO them back with Hidden Power Ice or something like that after that. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on the team. Base 135 speed as well, so it's a great clean-up mon at the end as well. So I'm really, really pleased with this pick. I think Intimidate as well is going to really put pressure on their physical, on the physical side, because I've got Hippowdon, which is a great physical wall. I've got Intimidate from there as well. Next up, I decided I didn't want to have to rely on bringing Excadrill every single time for defogging and things like that. And also, Hippowdon was weak to grass as well. And I also wanted to later on get a bulky water type, which would also be weak to grass. So I wanted something that would work well with that, but also synergize well with Umbreon. Take really strong fighting physical hits or special hits really well, and also bug moves as well. So I settled on going for X-Wing the Crobat. Now, Crobat is really, really good, especially in this format, because you've got insane speed. So I can run this as a choice band cleaner. This is another option as a cleaner, but I can also run it physically defensive, and it still outspeeds a lot of mons. I can speed creep with it and invest in a huge amount into HP if I want to, so I can outspeed really, really key mons. The defensive set completely shuts down Mega Venusaur. I can come in on Mega Venusaur, even if it's got Sleep Powder, I can run Safety Goggles or anything like that, and even with only 80 EVs in attack, I can 2-hit KO defensive Venusaur with Brave Bird, which is just absolutely insane. It gives me it's a great annoyer, really. It's really quite tricky to kill, especially if you invest a lot in HP. I can run Defog as well, which is really, really good. So it's a really supportive mon for my team, especially if I'm Volt switching with Pharaoh and things like that. Next up, a lot of the bulky waters were taken. So we had Milotic was taken, Suicune was taken, what else? Vaporeon was taken as well, which are the main sort of really bulky waters. So I really wanted one that would be able to hit hard and also be a great wall, would be able to take Scalds really well, and Ice Moves, especially with Ice Moves directed at Paldon as well. And I decided to go for Brainwash the Slowbro, because I hadn't got any Psychic Stab or anything along those sorts of lines. I can run Calm Mind on it, I can run Assault Vest, I can run Physical Wall to wall things like Mega Lopunny and stuff like that. So there's loads and loads of really, really great options that I could run for that Slowbro. So that's why I wanted it. It was very, very versatile, and also can hit incredibly hard as well. I have Trick Room options. If I want to surprise people, I can pop a Trick Room up as they switch out into, say, I'm just picking an example here. Say if they want to go out into Hydreigon, I could go for a Trick Room on the switch and then follow up with an Ice Beam. And that's, could be a potentially really, really clutch play there. Next up, I wanted something that would be able to provide me with more rock support, and also I was kind of worried that I was going to start drafting too many physical mons, because later on in my plan, I was my plan draft seemed to be centered a lot more physically than specially, and I wanted a mon that was both versatile, ideally mixed if I could, because I haven't really got any mixed options at the minute, and that would be really excellent to get. Stealth Rocks would have been great, so I ended up picking up Mirage the Azelf, because I can run screens, base 115 speed is absolutely insane as well, and also those offenses as well. Absolutely amazing. I can run Choice Band Offensive, Choice Specs, I can run Life Orb, I can run Sash with Explosion and Stealth Rocks. So many really, really great options there. I know it does make me a little bit more knockoff weak, obviously with the Slowbro and also the Azelf. So that's something I'm going to have to then plan for later on in my draft. So the next pick I wanted was to actually cover exactly that. And I ended up picking up Lockjaw the Granbull. Now, this was also quite an early pick, but I knew people would be looking for that, because in terms of value, for 40 points with how the GBA drafting works, it's a steal pretty much, because with the amount of the defenses you can get from the Intimidate, you can run it offensive. It has a great physical move pool. You can run it Assault Vest alongside this as well, as it pairs really well with Umbreon, because Umbreon, obviously it can take all the physical hits directed at Umbreon. Umbreon doesn't have to take all the knockoffs and things like that. And it also means that I have a way to counteract a lot of fighting types, especially fighting types that have access to knockoff that can hit Slowbro hard, and also damage the Azelf as well. So I'm really pleased with that. I think that's a really, really excellent pick. It's also for the Excadrill as well, because obviously Excadrill is weak to Mach Punch. So I figured the Granbull was just another really, really solid pick, I think. Especially with the fact that it can be run offensive as well, like a lot of the walls that I've picked here, which I really like, because it means that they're going to be much more reticent to actually switch in if they know that there's a chance you could be choice banded physically offensive or something like that. Also, fairy types in this format are absolutely excellent in terms of coverage, and they're quite tricky to prepare for. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased that I got Granbull that turn. Next up, my computer has just switched off. There you go. Now we're back. Next up, I realised I've still got quite a bit of a physical thing going on, because I've got the Hippowdon, I've got the Excadrill, I've got the Crobat, and then on the special side, we've still only got the Slowbro, oh, and also the Granbull. We've only got the Slowbro and the Azelf, and also Mega Manectric, and I wanted some more special attack going on with this. And I actually recently finished an IEP battle where, I don't know if it's going to be out. It's not going to be out yet, but Exploud featured incredibly heavily in that, and it did so much work. So I'm was really keen to pick that up, and luckily I managed to pick up Bieber the Exploud, and this thing is just absolutely disgusting. If you can bring it in on a wall or anything like that where they have to switch, you can absolutely wreck them. It's got just the right amount of bulk where it's very difficult to one-shot, so it's going to be really good. I can hit behind subs if there's any setup and everything along that. Yeah, really great. I know that adds another fighting weakness, but as I said, we do have the Granbull and also the Slowbro as well. So I think it's definitely worth it to add that extra sort of really strong special wall breaking potential, because Specs Boom Burst just absolutely wrecks. It's also a great answer to Mega Sableye as well, alongside the Granbull. So I can even run Banded Granbull or special Specs Granbull, because I think Ellie has picked up Mega Sableye, and that thing is a huge threat. Then after this, I wanted something else that could also take knockoffs, because having one Pokemon that can take knockoffs is okay, but I would ideally like something along those sorts of lines. And also, I lacked a lot of I had no priority at this point as well. On top of this, I wanted something that could both hit hard, and also I could run sort of as an assault vested. Still hitting really hard, but really tricky to take down. And the Pokemon I decided to pick up here was Hariyama for my RU pick. Fisty the Hariyama. So this thing gives me such problems in the IEP, and if it gives me problems, I've used it a few times in RU, and it has worked really well for me. I can run Fake Out, I can run Bullet Punch, quite a few different sort of priority options there, which is really nice. And also, that while its defenses aren't massive, its HP stat is insane. And if you slap an Assault Vest on there, it can take so many special hits. It has access to Close Combat and also Drain Punch, so you can be Drain Punching all of that HP back. And also, with Umbreon, it provides a fair amount of support with Umbreon, because it can take all the knockoffs. Umbreon can also Wish Up and give Hariyama that. I have access to Thick Fat as well, which works well with the Hippowdon. I can take Ice Beams if I want to. And also any fire moves as well, in general, because I don't really have too many things outside of Slowbro that can take those fire hits. So yeah, I think that's a really solid pick. Now, the final pick that I wanted, I imagine you guys, the guys that watch the IEP might know why I've picked this one. And I have decided to go for Ollie the Dusclops, because Dusclops is a beast. Any of you guys that have seen how well Dusclops works. I mean, for example, we'll take the IEP as an example. At the point where I picked up Dusclops and Umbreon, I was at 5-5. I'm now sitting at something like 12-7. So I've managed to win 7 games and lose 2 with using this core, and Dusclops I'm just a huge fan of Dusclops. It shuts down so many potential OU mons, so many megas, and you can Will-O-Wisp, you can Curse, you can Spite, you can PP Stall, you can just generally really annoy as well, and the bulk on it is unreal, especially paired with Granbull that can take any knockoffs directed at Dusclops. I think it's going to work really well. So that's my draft in general. As I said, quite a bulky draft. Look, apparently from the stats of it, it has the lowest average of base stats, which, I don't know. I still think it's going to be absolutely excellent, because the trouble is with statistics is it's skewed, because Excadrill has ridiculous speed under the sand, and also Dusclops with Eviolites, insane defenses. So I'm really happy. This draft is very much me, and I think that's the way to go with this. Sometimes I know some people go for the certain drafts that, oh, previous drafts have worked well at this, that's what I'm going to run. I'm feeling more along the lines of play with what you're used to. So this is very similar to my IEP draft. Obviously, I don't have the Mega, I don't have the Venatran core. I have a few other things instead, but I'm happy with that. So yeah, I hope you guys are hyped about this draft as I am, and just let me know in the comments what you think of it, because I would appreciate any suggestions for cheeky sets that I may not have thought about, any pairings that synergize really well, and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and are as hyped as I am for this, because I cannot wait to start. This is going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys at the next one. Macadii out.